Hey guys, what's up? It's Fern. Thank you so much for joining me for another Planty video. Today we're doing a video that I honestly didn't know if I would ever be doing because I've only ever had like 1 or 2 alocasia, but now I have 6 of them to share with you today, which is why I am doing an alocasia collection video. So if you are also a fan of alocasia, make sure you hit that like button. I would really appreciate that, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more planty content. Alocasia is becoming one of my favorite genus of houseplants to grow. I love how beautiful and unique the foliage is. They're really different from everything else in my collection. I love that they're easy to propagate, especially by corm. It's so fun to dig the corms out of the pot. You can also propagate by division, which is very easy. And I honestly feel like they're relatively straightforward to grow once you've learned their care and dialed that in. They don't require a ton of extra maintenance like our climbing philodendrons and monstera and things like that might. So I just really appreciate them. But it has not always been this way. We have had a bit of a tumultuous history. When I first got into houseplants, I had the classic Alocasia amazonica, and I actually really liked it, and I remember being so pumped when I got it. I just thought it was the coolest plant ever, and I still like them. I think that they're gorgeous plants. I don't have one in my collection now, but that was the first one that I got. I had that one, and then I had a massive Alocasia regal shield, which was very nice and I loved as well. But unfortunately, I was an inexperienced plant parent and they got hit with the spider mites. And that was when I swore off Alocasia, because I was seeing everywhere online that Alocasia are spider mite magnets. They're gonna bring spider mites into your collection no matter what, and to stay away from them. So that is what I did for a while. Eventually, once I kind of learned more about how to prevent pests and, what to do in that situation, I started becoming intrigued by Alocasia again. Because how can you not? Like, they're just so pretty. So I started picking the odd one up, and now here we are. I have 6 of them to share with you today, so let's just hop into the collection. Alright, this is the first Alocasia that I'm going to talk to you about. This is my Alocasia micholitziana, and I get a lot of comments and questions about the name of this plant because it can be a little bit confusing. These are commonly called Alocasia frydek, but technically the name frydek applies to the variegated version of this plant. So micholitziana is the green and frydek is the variegated. However, just the green form is much more common and people often call it frydek, and I know exactly what they're talking about. I'm not the plant name police by any means, so I don't really care what people call this plant, but I'm just throwing that out there for people who might be wondering. So I got this plant almost exactly 2 years ago, I believe, and it started off as a little tiny baby, and I remember just doting on it and being so concerned about it, and it did look a little bit sad for a while, and I wasn't sure what was going on. And then eventually it just perked up and started growing for me, and it grew really well. Like you can see, it's quite large in leaf size right now. By the way, if you see, it's wet, but if you see any like white marks on any of the plants that I'm going to show, it's because I'm doing a sulfur treatment on my whole collection, so that's all that is. I've tried to wash it off, but unless I like get in there and really try to get it off, it doesn't come off, so I've just left it at that. I need to reapply it today anyways. But yes, anyways, got it 2 years ago. Now it's quite large, and it used to have way more leaves, but it's honestly been going through a little bit of a tough time, which makes me kind of sad because it used to be way more full and just like robust. It hasn't given me a new leaf in quite some time. There was a few things that kind of went on at once. I repotted it, which I really do not think it liked. I think it was much happier being snug in its old pot, which is something I've heard that Alocasia likes, so I don't know. I thought it was a good idea to repot because it looked like it needed it, but in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. And it moved locations and it got spider mites. So it's kind of recovering from the stress of all of that. I might actually move it back to its old location in my bedroom, even though I feel like it's similar conditions. Maybe there was just like something about the spot in here that it really liked, so I might try that because I really want to see some new growth on this. I'm just so sad. Like when this plant is happy, it's a fast grower. Like it was constantly throwing out new leaves. And as you can see, I have several different plants in here. There's some like more mature ones, and then this one was from a corm that I rooted and planted back in there, so there's just a little baby one there. Besides the events of late, this plant has been very easy for me to take care of. I find it to be very hardy, especially for like a velvet leafed plant. It's very tough. It's never really complained until now, which is why I'm kind of like, I wish I could remedy whatever is going on here, but hopefully it will just start to improve. I mean, the leaves that it does have look beautiful. It does have one on its way out, and it's very normal for alocasia to yellow and drop leaves, but usually you'll be getting new growth as well. So I only worry when I'm losing a bunch of leaves and I'm not getting new growth, which is what has been going on. So yeah, this is my first one. I love him so much. Might be my favorite alocasia, actually. I really enjoy it. I just love how deep green the foliage is. These leaves can get massive. I feel like it just really brings like the jungle vibes. Yeah, I just think it's gorgeous. I love it so much. So yeah, Alocasia micholitziana. All right, next we are going to talk about my Alocasia dragon scale. Now, if you've been on my channel, then you've probably seen this plant before because this has been like in a lot of my videos and in the background of a lot of my videos, and I've posted it on Instagram a lot, just because it's like probably one of my more impressive plants just with how big it is. So this is, I get a lot of questions on whether this is like the green form or the silver form or like what is going on with the coloring, and this is one that unfortunately has a lot of sulfur stuck on it, so I apologize for that. But yes, I get a lot of comments about the coloring, and this, I bought this just as the regular green dragon scale. I specifically wanted the green one. I would love to have the silver one in my collection now, but at the time when I was just buying like my first one, I just was set on the green one. So you can see that the new leaf, this leaf just came out recently, and you can see that it is very green, but they seem to like harden off to this almost blue color, and it's very cool. Like, it looks different than the silver dragon, so I know it's not that, but yeah, it's just like a very unique colored dragon scale, and I don't know if this is because of the light that it's been receiving or what. I feel like maybe we're more likely to get this color when it's under grow lights, but however, it has put out leaves. It has put out leaves in natural light that still go that color, so maybe it's just my plant. But yeah, I do get a lot of questions on the coloring of this guy. I have also had this plant for 2 years, and it has also been a very easy grower for me. I've never had a pest on this guy or anything like that. It has a very thick leaf, like this is like cardboard. Yeah, I just love these leaves. It is so beautiful. I will say that this plant hasn't really been doing a ton for me in the past probably like eight months to a year, because I moved it away into like quite low light just because I didn't really have a spot for it. Like, it just, you know, it's gotten quite large, and I just ended up moving it to like the middle of my living room. And then I kind of got tired of it not growing because it was doing fine. Like, it was surviving there, but it wasn't really growing. It gave me like maybe 1 or 2 leaves in the time that it was there. So I've recently made the decision to move it back under a grow light because it just, you know, it deserves a better spot than that, and I do want to continue to see it to grow big and to thrive. So when I did that, I got this new leaf out, which I'm very excited about, and I do have some babies in here as well, so there are some smaller leaves on the bottom. Yeah, this plant kind of looks crazy right now, especially with the sulfur. But yeah, I'm really hoping that it's going to kind of like, you know, bounce back and just start like growing rapidly again, because again, this is quite a fast grower if it has adequate light. Sometimes a plant just kind of has to go on the back burner because of space, and that's kind of what happened with this one. So fret not, he is back in prime real estate now, so I'm very excited to watch him continue to grow. I also repotted this one at the same time as when I repotted my Frydek. I think that I did it for a Patreon video. And it's like looks the same. Like, there's like some roots on the outside of the pot, but really not a lot. Like, I know that they're fine because the roots that I can see look healthy, but yeah, I don't know. I repotted this one at the same time into like the same size pot and everything, and this one has been doing much better. Like, it's growing and everything, so I don't know. It's just, I don't know what's been going on with that micholitziana, but anyways, really love this one. Really recommend it, especially now that you can buy them for like $10 at the big box store. I was a fool and paid $200 for this back in the day. So yeah, very nice that they are more affordable and accessible now. More people can grow these. I think that they're just such cool plants. Just make sure that you give them enough light. I've never found humidity to be an issue really with any of my alocasia. So although my humidity is in mid-range, like it's around 50% just in my regular house humidity. So if you live somewhere very dry, then maybe they wouldn't be as happy, but for me, I'm not supplementing humidity or anything for these guys, so yeah. Okay, next I'm gonna show you one of my recent favorites. This is my Alocasia cuprea, who does unfortunately have a little case of spider mites right now, but that's okay. That's nothing that we can't handle. And he doesn't seem too bothered because he's even got a new growth point coming out and everything, so it's very exciting. This plant I have had for just over a year now, and this actually came to me as an import and completely died, but the corm, I was able to save the corm, and it grew back, and I had two alocasias in that order. I had the cuprea and then I had silver dragons. So unfortunately the silver dragon corm didn't make it, but this one did, and it was fun because I didn't know which plant it was going to be. Like I knew it was going to be one of the two, but I wasn't sure which corm was the one that was growing. So it was this one. I was very happy because I hadn't really seen these around. Now these are much more common. You can pick these up at, you know, plant shops or online for relatively cheap now, which is great. But yeah, I was very excited to have this in my collection, and it's been very fun to just grow it from nothing essentially. It's very rewarding. This is just such a bizarre plant, very alien looking, very, very unique and strange, and that's why I like it. There's really nothing that can compare to this. It's just so different. It really is like the perfect conversation piece plant. People are always drawn to this. They're just like, what is that? Especially when there's a new leaf and they're just like so like glossy and juicy looking, and yeah, oh my goodness, I just love this plant. It's so cool. I love that the petioles are just like this light green too, in contrast with this super deep purple. Like how cool is that? This gets the same conditions as the other ones I've shown you. It lives under a grow light and it's very happy with that. I do have it potted in terracotta. I honestly don't find that it is super thirsty. I mean, it likes water, but it doesn't complain if you underwater it, which I often do. And I've never like lost a leaf because of that. I've never even really seen it droop. Like this is a very hardy plant again. The only problem I've really had with it is that it was like trying to like fall over in its pot, which is why I added just a little stake and it's clipped onto there. But now I feel like he's rooted well enough into this pot that he is able to hold himself up, so I could probably take that out. But it's just kind of cute. Like I love these dragonfly clips. Not too much else to say about him other than I'm very excited to see the new leaf, and I'm just trying to stay on top of watering. I'm trying to treat the spider mites, and I'm trying to keep up with fertilizing just to encourage that new growth to come in nice and strong. I've also recently added Osmocote slow release fertilizer into here. That's what this little tag means, just to remind myself. So yeah, definitely recommend this one. He's just so great and I've never had any problems. Besides the spider mites, but that's not his fault. Okay, next I have to show you this little piddly fellow, and some of y'all are gonna be mad at me, but in a video I recently potted up this little tiny baby Alocasia black velvet. This was a corm that I rooted, and then and it had one leaf, and I potted it up into a potting mix, and then I forgot about it. So it got very dry, and then I saw it and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about it, because I was so excited to start over and grow a healthy Alocasia black velvet. And now this is what it's looking like, which is very, very sad. It's obviously watered now, but I don't know if it was too late or if it's going to bounce back. I think I might lose this leaf, but I think that it will grow another one and it will be okay. So time will tell. The mother, there might be more corms in with the mother, but she doesn't have any leaves right now, so I was waiting to see if she would put out a leaf, but I don't think she is, so I think I'm just going to take that apart and harvest the corms, and then I can have backups just in case this doesn't make it. However, this is an Alocasia that is at the big box stores here. I just saw like a full pot the other day at Canadian Tire, so if I lost this and the other ones, then I could just replace it. But I just feel determined, like when I have a plant, I feel determined to revive it. Like I don't want to buy another one if I already have it, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to do at this time. So send good vibes. Yeah, we'll see what happens with this. I've had the worst luck. This is like the one Alocasia, you guys, that I cannot grow for some reason. And I don't know why it's so difficult. Like I would imagine the care to be the same as my dragon scale. Like to me, these seem very similar in like leaf shape and like the thickness of the leaf and everything, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, next I have this fun guy right here. This is my Alocasia maharani, and I have had this for, oh my goodness, how long now? Probably like half a year-ish. And this was sent to me as a little baby. I think it had one leaf when it came to me, one little leaf, and it's grown so much, like in leaf size. I mean, it only has 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves, but the leaves are so much bigger than the one that it came to me with. And it's just been so easy to grow. I love the texture of this one. Like, how cool is this? Like, all of the ridges and everything, and I love the color. Like, this is more of a cool toned kind of silver plant, which y'all know I'm very into. And the backs also have a bit of like a pinky kind of like maroon color to them, which I actually didn't even notice until recently. And it wasn't even, yeah, the leaves before I put it under a grow light weren't doing that. They're just green. But since I've put it under a grow light, the new leaves have that like pink underside, which is very cool. And you can really see it on this one that's coming in here. Like, how beautiful is that? I love the way the alocasia leaves look when they're coming in. Like, it's so satisfying just watching them emerge. Like, look at that. Oh my goodness. They just look so prehistoric. Yeah, I'm very, very happy to have this one in my collection. This guy has just done so well. Like, oh my goodness, he is so rooted in here. Like, why won't my other ones root like that in their pots? Like, he's just so, so happy. I can even see a corm that's like trying to bust out right there. Like, look at that. How cool. Like, oh my goodness, all of these roots? Look at that. It's insane. Yeah, this has been like such a dream to grow, honestly. I can't wait until the leaves get bigger. It's just like, yeah, such a cool plant, and I'm so happy to have it in my collection. I also was gonna make a comment about this pot. I got these like taller orchid pots recently, and I've been trying them out for a few of my plants, and I decided to pot this one into this taller one just because I felt like it would kind of provide it with a little bit more stability, because they can tend to kind of like want to like fall over if they're not stable in their pots. So I put it in a deeper pot, and you know, it's like rooted all the way down here, and I just feel like that's helped with stability. Like, this is so solid in here. So I don't know if that makes sense in anyone else's brain, but to mine it made sense, and I did it, and I'm very happy with that decision. I feel like he loves this pot. Alright, last but not least, this is my newest alocasia to my collection. I actually unboxed this in a recent video, so I can link that if you're interested in watching. I got this from Plant Haven Toronto about a month ago now, and it is doing so well, you guys, and I'm so excited and happy about that. It even has a new leaf on the way. Oh, I didn't even say what this is called. So this is commonly called the Alocasia Jacklyn. That's what most people know it by, and what like shops are calling it and everything. But apparently the actual name for this is Alocasia tandurusa, I believe, which I think means deer, which is very fitting because this does look like a deer head. Somebody left a comment on my video where I unboxed this saying that, so thank you so much if you were the person that left me that info. But yeah, this alocasia, like I said, has just been doing so well. I feel like this is going to be quite a hardy alocasia to grow, and I just cannot believe like how nice this leaf is. This one was just like starting to emerge when it arrived to me. So I thought I was, you know, didn't have great expectations for it just because it had just gone through shipping and everything. But no, it has come out absolutely beautiful, and yeah, it's already working on another one, so I'm just so, so, so excited. Show you from this side, look at that. Oh my goodness. I have not repotted this or anything. I'm just gonna leave it in this pot and soil that it came in, because it seems to be happy and it seems to be doing well. I see no reason to be repotting it. So yeah, I obviously don't have a lot of experience or anything with this plant yet, but I'm very happy to have it in my collection, and I feel like this is different than anything else, like any of my other alocasia that I have. Like, the leaf shape is very unique. It's like furry, has like a furry layer on it, and it also has these really cool petioles. This is similar to like the Alocasia zebrina petioles, and that plant's like really known for having those petioles, and this plant has it too, which is very cool. So yeah, I'm excited to get more experience with this plant and I will report back. These can also get like massive, the leaves. So whenever I see a photo of somebody with a really big one, I'm just like, oh my goodness, like it's just so cool when, you know, there's the potential for your plants to grow so big. So yeah, I can definitely see this being one of my favorites and I'm really enjoying it so far. Alright, so that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what your favorite alocasia is. I would love to hear. I know that there's so many varieties that I don't even know about. Also, don't forget to like this video. Make sure you're subscribed for more planty content. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!